Hi, my name's Naina, and today we're going to be looking at skin disease as per Ayurveda, as well as the Skinkey Malt from Untitled. So when we're handling skin disease, it can be very tricky. Not only can they be very stubborn to treat, but also very mysterious. They might come up at various times in different places on the body, and it can be very difficult to pinpoint and pick how and what is the cause of the skin disorder. So when we are treating skin disease with allopathy, so normal medicines, the results are very quick. So we quite like this. Why? Because skin disease really affects our confidence and it cannot make us feel so good. So having that quick fix and that quick relief gives us that immediate feeling that it's being treated. However, the results are not so lasting. When we are treating with Ayurveda, what you'll notice is that the process for healing and treating might be a little bit longer, but the results are more lasting. So let's dive deep into skin disease as per Ayurveda so that we can learn a little bit more about what's happening. I like to understand skin disease in Ayurveda like a cycle. So let's look at various points on this cycle and see how we can start making a difference. Number one, the first point on the cycle and the most crucial point is the digestion quality. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you would notice that I say this time and time again, but it really is the root cause of disorders. If we are understanding the digestion from a person with a Vata constitution, so there's a lot more air and ether, they're moving a lot, they tend to have a smaller frame. Their digestion tends to be more erratic, so it's up and down. They have a tendency to skip meals, which weakens their digestion. So when it comes to a Vata type, the main issue with the digestion would be that they are not eating regularly. If a person is more Pitta type, if they have more fire in their body type, they're probably not eating enough because their digestion is very strong, so they've got to keep adding fuel to that to keep the fire balanced. If someone is of a Kapha nature, if they've got more water and earth elements in their body, constitution and their mind, they're probably eating a little bit too much. So their digestive strength is not so strong, and therefore when they're adding more food to that weak fire, their digestion gets weakened. So Vata types need to make sure that they're eating 3 times a day. A Pitta type will have to make sure that they're eating enough in the day, and a Kapha type will probably do with eating less in the day, so skipping meals. This leads on to the next point in the cycle, which is ama is toxin. Okay, so basically toxin forms in the body when something is not digested fully. This might be food, but it also might be mental experiences and emotions as well. On a physical level, when we're looking at Vata type, or more air and ether body type, the armor that will come about will be more dark. So the way that we would see this in skin disease is that there will be a dark discoloration in areas of the body. You'll also notice dryness, and the skin will be very thin. So what you'll notice with Vata type skin disorders is that they come and go very quickly. For a Pitta type person with a lot of fire in their digestion, when this shows up in the skin, it's going to come up as like an allergy, like redness, sensitivity, inflammation and heat. Bacterial infections are also quite common with Pitta imbalances. If someone is of a Kapha constitution, if they've got more water and earth elements in their body constitution, they are going to notice that their skin disease, there's a thickening of the skin, a flakiness, an excess, and a swelling. Sometimes there can be weeping coming from the skin condition. If there is excess water and the Kapha element in skin disease, you'll notice that there is a lot more itching as well. So fungal infections are really common with Kapha type disorders. For Kapha type skin disorders, you'll notice that they take longer time to treat, and once they're there, they are there for a long time. However, once you treat it, it's gone for a long time. When food or experiences are not digested fully, what happens is that they go into the circulatory system, and then they start affecting our Rasa and our lymph glands. So this brings us on to the next part of that cycle. So first we've got the weak digestion, and then the armor forms, the toxins form in the body, okay? And then we've got this armor, these toxins circulating. So the Rasa is going to be affected, which is the first tissue in our physical body that gets nourishment. Our skin is definitely a reflection of our Rasa. So we want to aim to have clean Rasa that is balanced in all the elements, so that it has a glow, lustre and a plumpness to it. So if there is excess vata in the Rasa, then we will see the dryness, etc. If there's excess heat in the Rasa, then we see the pitta symptoms. And if there's excess kapha in the Rasa, then we see the kapha type symptoms. So the lymph glands in our body are responsible, they're like checkpoints for our body to sort through everything coming in and to protect us. Okay, so it's the place where everything goes through. If there's any toxins, anything unfamiliar, there is a system in place that is going to protect us. Okay, so it's our physical immunity, you could say. So these places are very important. When there is a lot of toxin in our Rasa, our lymph glands get clogged and stagnated. When our lymphatic system is blocked and stagnated, we not only feel lethargy, tiredness, getting ill often, but it will show in our skin. So the skin will lack lustre and it won't be strong enough to defend itself. So you can imagine that with all the skin disorders you might find yourself having, whether that be itching, allergies, acne, eczema, psoriasis, they're going to have a blend of the doshas. And it's up to an Ayurvedic practitioner to decide which one to treat first. However, there are simple ways that you can start treating yourself just by strengthening your digestion, clearing your armor, and working to keep your Rasa and your lymph glands clean. Let's move on to the next part of this cycle. The most interesting part of skin disease is the mental component, stress and mental disturbance. So it's incredibly obvious that when we are not feeling good, when our mind is disturbed, when things are not so easy, it shows in our skin. Okay, and that is also a reflection of the Rasa. So something worth also remembering is that our Rasa not only carries nutrients from our food, but also our emotions. So if we're feeling happy, our Rasa will show happiness. If we're feeling nervous and scared, then the Rasa becomes depleted, and this will also show in our skin. So how might we go about that? Well, it's going to be a personal journey of how to break this cycle. Okay, we can only be responsible for ourselves and our emotional responses and reactions to our situations in life. So take things slowly, one thing at a time. Look at everything in your circle of your being, your home environment, your friends' environment, your work environment, etc. and start to purify that space. Start to see where negative emotions are being triggered, how you might be able to go through solving it using the light of knowledge, meditation, breathing exercises, having conversations. See how you can start working on that, and then you will notice the difference in your skin. Now, not only will your Rasa immediately plump up, but what happens is that you will have more space to look after yourself. So you will remember to drink more water, which is something that they all recommend for skin disease, is to drink more water. But if you don't remember it because you don't have the mental capacity to do it, then it's no use taking that advice. So you'll notice that there is a lot more space in your life to do the things that you need to do to take care of your skin. What's the last part of this cycle? There's one more important component to skin disease that Ayurveda teaches us, and it's part of our karma. And when we hear that, we might feel, that's not very nice to say. If there's a terrible skin disease happening, there's going to be some past karma that was done that brought that situation to that particular being. So regardless of what that is, nothing's stopping us from working on what we have to do right now. So there may be a karmic influence on how the condition of our skin, and it's actually listed as one of the causes of skin disease in Ayurveda. How do we start working with our karma? That's a very big question, and there's many things you can do, but in a nutshell, start doing good deeds. Try to start being a little bit selfless, so just do small things in your day that you feel like, well, this would be nice for this person, or do something nice for someone else rather than always thinking about yourself. Do something for Mother Nature, water plants, clean up your local area, your environment, do some environmental work, conservational work, feed animals, have some kind of devotion or practice, some kind of seva that you want to perform, and take care of other human beings, especially the elderly. Also look at your dharma, okay? So look at what is most appropriate in your life right now that needs to be done. And that might be really scary to think about. It might be a little bit overwhelming, but with the right environment and the right kind of nourishment, 100% you have the ability and the strength to go on that path. So you can see how these aspects of skin disease and this skin disease cycle all connect together. Weak digestion, formation of toxins or armor, the Rasa and your lymph glands are getting stressed, and emotional, mental disturbances, and our karma. So once we can, even if you started working on any of these, it's going to affect all of them. So you can decide where you want to work on this cycle, or you can look at all of them and perhaps do a little bit from each. So the Skinkey Malt from Amritam is packed with a wide range of Ayurvedic ingredients that specifically work to help skin disease. So how do they do that? We've got blood purifying ingredients in there, such as guduchi and neem. Added to that, we've also got digestion enhancing herbs in there, like chitrak, which actually stimulates the digestion and also dissolves armor. There's lots of circulation boosting ingredients in this malt as well, like saffron and kanchana guggulu. So what they do is they clear the channels so that the circulation can run properly. And that's going to clear any excess armor. Also, emotions might come out. And then once that blood is purified and the circulation is working well, then it will start showing in the skin. You've also got things like ajwain in there and cinnamon, which are also good to reduce cholesterol, balance vata, and just keep everything moving. Okay, so that really is the key with skin disease, is that there's a stagnation. Something is stuck. We're holding on to toxins, we're holding on to things that we no longer need. So that's what the medicine does for us. It purifies and moves things along. So if we can do that self-work to work through what we need to get rid of on an emotional and mental level, and start making those changes and be ready for that change in our life, skin disease can be greatly reduced. So added to this, we can't forget a good exercise regime, meditation, pranayama, and plenty of water. But alongside those things, the Skinkey Malt is definitely a good one to try. So clear your armor, finish your karma, and do your dharma. These 3 sentences will help a lot for anybody that is suffering with skin disease. So this Skinkey Malt is suitable for most people with skin disease. Okay, you can take 1 or 2 tablespoons with some warm water or warm milk once or twice a day. Just remember, when we're treating with Ayurveda, it's not going to happen instantaneously, the treatment. So do take the malt periodically or for a set length of time so that you can really see the results. So if you have any more questions about the Skinkey Malt, feel free to write an email to Amritam and I'm sure they'll be happy to help. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video and I wish you all the best on your health journey.